Good morning to all. This is ninth standard social science, history, first lesson, evolution of humans and society in the prehistoric period, part 2. So in the previous class, we have seen about the introduction of the prehistoric people, the sources or the historical evidences. For example, we have seen about the museums and the theory which was given by Charles Darwin, that is the origin of species. The theory name is survival of the fittest. And also we have seen various evidences collected by the archaeologist. So, prehistory, that is from the Australopithecus through the Homo erectus to Homo sapiens. So, we can see from the gene of Australopithecus through Homo erectus to Homo sapiens. So, human evolution and migration. So, evolution means, as I said before, the development. That is from the initial stage to the advanced stage. And migration. Migration means moving from one place to another place. So the chimpanzees, the gorillas and the orangutans along with humans are collectively called great apes. So the chimpanzee, gorillas and orangutans, all these are monkey varieties. So these three categories are called great apes. Among them, the chimpanzee is genetically closest to the human. So among the three, chimpanzee is very close to the human. So chimpanzee gene as well as the humans are very closely related. So the ancestors to humans were called hominins. So the human ancestors are called hominins and their origins have been traced in Africa. So that's why Africa is called mother continent, because it is the oldest inhabited continent where the human came into existence first in that place. So the ancestors to humans were called hominins. They developed from those origins and then began to move to other parts of the world in due course of time. So during the period of time, they moved out of that Africa and they settled in various places. So that process we call it as migration. Migration means moving from one place to another. So according to the place climate or according to the environment, their physical feature also got changed. So the hominins emerged around 7 to 5 million years ago. The skeletons of Australopithecus, one of the early species of this tribe, have been found in Africa. So one of the early species of this tribe, that is human ancestor, is Australopithecus. So the skeleton of this kind of human species have been found out in Africa. And the Great Rift Valley in Africa has many sites that have evidence for the prehistoric period. So valley means a deep depression along the mountain ranges. So the Great Rift Valley in Africa has many such evidences of the prehistoric people. The DNA of the chimpanzee is 98% identical to that of the human being. So as we said before, among the three great apes, chimpanzee is very closest to the human being. So the DNA sample, that is 98%, is very close to the human being. The Great Rift Valley is a valley-like formation that runs from about 6,400 km from the northern part of Syria to central Mozambique in East Africa, and this geographical feature is visible even from the space, and many prehistoric sites are found in this place, that is in the Eastern Africa. So where the location of Great Rift Valley means, it runs about 6,400 kilometers. So the distance is about 6,400 kilometers starting from the Syria to the central Mozambique in the eastern part of Africa. So even this place we can see from the space, from the top angle we can see this place, and many prehistoric people evidences have been collected from this place. Hominid refers to all species of the modern and extinct great apes, which also include humans. So hominid means all great apes including humans. Hominins, a zoological tribe, refers to the close relatives of human ancestors. So as we have seen before, hominins are human ancestors, and their sister species including Homo sapiens, that is the modern humans, and the extinct members. Extinct means not currently, it is not available. So the extinct members of Homo neanderthalensis and Homo erectus, Homo habilis are various species of Australopithecines. Humans are the only living species of this tribe. So among this tribe, who is the only surviving species means we, the humans. So they stand erect. So humans, they have developed. So starting we were like apes, and slowly we got developed with the physical features, the brain development, everything got changed. So they began to stand erect. Stand erect means stand straight. Walk with two legs and have large brains, and they can use tools, and few of them can communicate. So they can also communicate with each other. So in the early period, they used to communicate via their paintings or sign language or sound language. So slowly they began to develop their own languages, and it excludes the gorillas. Homo habilis. So Homo habilis are called handyman, was the earliest known human ancestors to make tools in Africa about 2.6 million years ago. Around 2 million years ago, the species of Homo erectus eraxter emerged, and this species made hand axes between 2 and 1 million years ago. They began to spread into various parts of Asia and Africa in time. So Homo habilis are also called, this species is also called handyman because they use their hands to make the tools. And slowly they began to move out and settled in other parts of Asia also. Anatomically, modern humans are called Homo sapiens. So modern humans are called Homo sapiens. They are also called wise man. First appeared around 3 lakh years ago in Africa, and it is believed that these modern humans eventually migrated and dispersed into various parts of the world from around 60,000 years ago. So Homo sapiens, they migrated from Africa and they settled down at various parts of the world. So this is called the prehistoric people migration. So next we can see about their culture, the prehistoric period culture, what kind of food habit they have and what kind of occupation they followed, everything. So the prehistoric period does not have the evidence of writing. So they don't have any evidences of writing. And while the fossil bones are classified as various species, so from the bones which they collected by archaeological department, they categorized into Homo habilis, Homo erectus and Neanderthalensis based on the lithic tools. Lithic means stone. Lithic means stone. Cultures are assigned names such as earliest lithic assemblage, older one technology, lower, middle and upper Paleolithic and Mesolithic culture. So based on the fossil bones, based on the lithic tools only, they have given the names like Paleolithic people. And next one is upper Paleolithic people, middle Paleolithic and lower Paleolithic. Then Mesolithic and then Neolithic. So based on the evidences which they collected. The chimpanzee and pygmy chimpanzee, also known as bonobo, are our closest living relatives. So living relatives means still it is in existence. The chimpanzees are the pygmy chimpanzee. It is also called bonobo. So next we can see their tools which they used. Lithic means stone. So the earliest lithic assemblages of human ancestors. Lithic means stone. The earliest tools made by human ancestors are found in Lomikwi in Kenya, and they are dated to 3.3 million years. So the earliest tool which was used by our prehistoric people have been founded in Kenya. So the age of that is nearly 3.3 million years. Oldowan tools occur in Olduvai Gorge in Africa. They are 2 to 2.6 million years old. The human ancestors, that is Australopithecines, used hammer stones and produced sharp-edged flakes, and the tools were used for cutting, slicing and processing the food. So they used one hammer, it is a kind of a tool, and they use that to flake out. Flake out means small strips of stones are called flakes. And for what purpose they use the tool means for cutting, for slicing and for processing their food. So next we can see about the lower Paleolithic age. Paleolithic means Stone Age. So Stone Age itself we can classify at lower age, middle age and upper age. So first we can see about lower Paleolithic age. The lower Paleolithic culture is marked by the human ancestors belonging to the species Homo habilis and Homo erectus. So the whole lower Paleolithic period, what kind of species were found means Homo habilis and Homo erectus. The human ancestors flaked large stone blocks and designed various tools including hand axes. Flaked means cutting the stones. They they used large stone blocks and they flake it out and they made the stone tools. Example, they made hand axes. These tools, which are found in Africa, Asia and Europe, are dated to the earliest of about 1.8 billion years ago. So the tools which were made by the prehistoric people have been found out in Africa, Asia and Europe. And what is the age of this is 1.8 million years. And they have made various tools such as hand axes, cleavers to meet their subsistence needs. Subsistence needs means their basic needs. These tools are also known as bifaces. Bifaces means they would have sharpened both the edges. Bi means two. So these tools have physical symmetry and convey the humans cognitive, that is the perception skills, and this culture is called, the hand axe tools are also known as Aquilian culture. So using this kind of skills to make the stone tools, so that culture is called Aquilian culture. The hand axe tools are also known as Aquilian tools, which was developed in the lower Paleolithic period. This tool making tradition continued till 2,50,000 years to 60,000 years ago in India. So it was continued even in India. Aquilian. So Aquilian means the hand axe tool. So Aquilian, they were the first hand axe recognized at a place called Saint Aquile in France. Hence they are called Aquilian tools. So the first hand axe which was developed by the prehistoric people was found at Saint Aquile. So it is in France. That's why the tool is called Aquilian tool. So next one is bifaces. Bifaces means, as I said earlier, the two edges will be sharpened. So are tools that have been flaking on both sides. So it has been flaked on both the side. So bi means two, face means side. Subsistence need. So subsistence necessity means the basic needs, to fulfill their basic needs. Of the prehistoric humans were mainly food and water. So our basic need is food and water, shelter, clothing, right? So subsistence necessity of the prehistoric people was mainly food and water. So the human ancestors perhaps did not possess complex language skills as we have now. So they don't have complex means very difficult language to communicate. They use sign languages or they use some sound languages. So they might have voiced a few sounds or words and possibly use sign languages. So what kind of communication they had means only through sign language. And they were intelligent enough to select stones as a raw material and used hammer stones to carefully flake the rocks and design the tools for their needs. So they are very intelligent to select what kind of stone can be used to make the tool. So based on the durability, the stone tools must have durability. Durability means it should last long. It should not break off easily. And they hunted animals, fed on the meat of the animals killed by the predators, and gathered plant food such as roots, nuts and fruits. So they hunted the animals and also they ate the animals which was killed by some other wild animals. Predator means some man-eating animals. And they also gathered foods such as roots, nuts and fruits. And the Aquilian tools have been found near Chennai and many other sites as Isampur in Karnataka, Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh. So next one is raw material means, for example, when you are making one chair, the raw material will be wood. So like that they are using stone tools. So the raw material will be stones. So they are very much intelligent to choose which kind of stone is suitable for making a particular tool. So raw material is naturally available stone block or pebbles selected by humans for making the tools, and core is the main block of stone from which small chips are flaked by using the hammer stone. So this is called flakes. Flakes means small chips of stone which has been flaked from the large huge block of stone. So flake is a small chip removed from the large stone block is called the core. So next we can move on to Middle Paleolithic. So we have seen about the lower Paleolithic fully occupied by Homo habilis and Homo erectus, and they made stone tools. And next one is Middle Paleolithic. So Middle Paleolithic, after about 3,98,000 years ago, further changes took place in the lithic technology. Lithic means stone technology in Africa. So they have developed from the lower to middle stage. So the Homo erectus species existed during this period. So what period mainly occupied what species mainly occupy this period means Homo erectus species. Anatomically, modern humans are said to have emerged around 3 lakh years ago. Modern humans means the Homo sapiens group. So next we can see about the lithic technology, that is the stone technology which they used. The lithic technology, lith means stone. The methods and techniques evolved in the production of stone tools are called lithic technology, and the hand axes turned out to be much attractive in design and many small tools were being produced. So they have developed and they made small tools, and hand axes they given many designs to the hand axes. So making the tools out of the stone, so that technology is called lithic technology. The core was prepared and the tools were made, and points and scrapers were used. So short blades were also produced, and the lithic tool making tradition of this period is called Levalloisian belong to this period. So the lithic tool making tradition of this period is called Levalloisian belong to this period, and the tools made during this time has been seen in Europe as well as the central and west part of Asia. So in lower Paleolithic we have seen about the Aquilian tools, and this tool is Levalloisian tool. Next, what is Levalloisian tools? So Levalloisian tools are the implements made after preparing the core. Core means that the main block of stone is called core. So it was named after the town Levallois in France. So it got the name from the town Levallois in France. So the Middle Paleolithic culture appeared between 3,85,000 and 1,98,000 years ago in Europe as well as some parts of Asia also. And the tools that were made during this period were used till about 28,000, and the people of this period were called Neanderthals. So the people of this Levalloisian period are called Neanderthals. That means in the Middle Paleolithic Age, the people were called Neanderthals, and they buried the dead people systematically. So they had the habit of burying the dead people. So next we can see about the Upper Paleolithic. So they would have developed from the Middle Range to Upper Paleolithic. The cultural phase that succeeded the Middle Paleolithic is called Upper Paleolithic. So after the Middle, they have developed much, and that age is called Upper Paleolithic. So this period is marked by the innovation of tool technology. They made technology, long blades and buruns were produced during this time. People used different varieties of silica-rich raw materials in this phase. Numerous paintings and art objects were found, and the diversity of artifacts suggests the improvement of cognitive skills and the development of languages. Microlithics appeared in this phase. So in the Upper Paleolithic, it is a much development stage from the Middle Paleolithic. They made many blades and diversity of artifacts. Diversity of artifacts means different tools they made, and they used microlithic. Microlithic means, micro means small, lithic means stones. So they use small stones to make their tools. Burun. So burun is a stone made chisel. So it will look like this. So burun is a stone made chisel with a sharp cutting edge, and the modern humans who first appeared as a result of human evolution in sub-Sahara Africa 3 lakhs years ago began to move to various parts of Asia around 60,000 years ago. They probably replaced the earlier population, and in Europe, humans known as Cro-Magnons lived in this period. So burun means it is a sharp tool used for cutting, and many modern humans they moved out from Africa and they settled in Asia, and the population which settled in Europe are called Cro-Magnons. Population in Europe are called Cro-Magnons. Horns and ivory were used for making the tools and artworks. So horns and ivory. Ivory means the elephant tusk was used for making the tools. So some other tools are bone needles. They use the bones to make the needles. And next one is fish hooks. Next is harpoons. And next one is spears. So these are the tools which was used by the people in the Upper Paleolithic period. So the humans of this time wore clothes and cooked food. So they began to wear clothes. So before that, their basic amenity was only food and water. So now they have their another basic amenity is clothes. So the humans of this time wore clothes and cooked food. The dead were placed in the burials with folded hands placed over their chest. So they have one process of burying the dead. And pentons are highly carved tools were also used, and evidences from paintings, clay model sculptures and carvings are available, and images of goddess Venus were made of stones and bones in Europe and in some parts of Asia. So that means they worshipped the goddess Venus. Next one is Ice Age. So the period before 8000 BC, that is also called BCE, when many parts of the world remain covered by ice sheets and snow. So Ice Age comes before the period of 8000 BC, where most of the parts of the world were covered with snow. So that period is called Ice Age. So next we can see about Mesolithic culture. So after Upper Paleolithic, Mesolithic is also called Middle Age. So Mesolithic period is also called Middle Stone Age, as it is placed between the Paleolithic and the Neolithic. Neolithic means New Stone Age. Paleolithic means Old Stone Age. It comes in the middle period, so it is called Middle Stone Age. People mainly used Microlithic. Microlithic means small stones tools. During this period, these people were hunters and gatherers. With the global warming occurring after the Ice Age, they become highly mobile and occupied various ecozones. So after the global warming, the Ice Age, it was changed into land surface, and they began to migrate and settle down in the coastal areas, hilly areas and dry regions and near the river valley areas. So people of Mesolithic period widely employed Microlithic technology. Microlithic means small stone technology. They made tiny artifacts. Tiny means small objects they made, which is less than 5 centimeter in size. And they produced points, scrapers and arrowheads. They also used geometric tools such as lunats, triangles and trapeziums. So these tools were hafted onto wooden or bone handles. So all these tools were given one bone handle or some wooden handle and used, and Microlithic are stone artifacts of small size. So Microlithic means it is a stone artifact. Artifact means some tools made from small stone. So next, Neolithic culture and the beginning of agriculture. So Neolithic is also called New Stone Age. From there they started agriculture as well as domestication of animals. The period of Neolithic marks the beginning of agriculture and animal domestication. It is an important phase in history. Early evidence of Neolithic period is found in the fertile Crescent region of Egypt and Mesopotamia, and the Indus region and the Gangetic region in China. By about 10,000 BC to 5,000 BC, agriculture have came into practice in these region. So Neolithic means New Stone Age. What is the feature of this New Stone Age means? They learned agriculture as well as domestication of animals. All these evidences we can see in these places. So what kind of crops they cultivated means wheat, barley, peas were cultivated around 10,000 years ago. Fruits and nut trees were cultivated around 4,000 years ago, and they comprise olives, figs, dates, pomegranates and grapes. So these are all the trees they cultivated. And the Fertile Crescent region refers to the area covering the Egypt, Israel, Palestine and Iraq, which is in the shape of the crescent moon. So this is the Fertile Crescent region. It is in the shape of the crescent moon, that is half moon. Neolithic age is also called New Age because the new grinding and polishing techniques were used. So they used polished tools. So the Neolithic people also used flake stone tools. Until the Mesolithic, people mainly hunted and gathered food for their subsistence. By hunting and gathering, people obtained very limited. So till Mesolithic, their main occupation was only hunting and food gathering. So their food will be very limited. So later they began what? Agriculture to satisfy their needs. So small number of people could exist in a particular region. So we can continue this part in the next class. So we can see about the prehistoric culture in Tamil Nadu. So how the people lived in Tamil Nadu. Thank you.